Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the Tower card. Oh, the Tower card. We'll see how this goes along with our tea leaves. Okay. So, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Hello, Pudge. Okay. This is actually quite beautiful. Okay. So I want to start here. Okay, so I see we have a person, here's the head, maybe in a long coat or a robe of some kind. You can see their foot down here. And they're kind of bent over, leaning forward. Now there's another smaller person here. And then as we can see, there is an angel right here touching the forehead of this smaller person, maybe a child. Okay, so I feel like I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, there was somebody in your life who really, and I feel like it's like a grandparent. It feels like a grandparent. It could be like a mother, father, caretaker, but it was somebody who really always looked out for you. I mean, they really were the kind of person who took the time to get down on your level and talk to you at eye level. They listened to you. And I feel like when you were with them, you felt so heard. But it was so much that there's this feeling that your opinion, your thoughts, your interests, your desires, they were all so valuable. And this was a really special relationship. And I think even as I'm talking about it, you're hearing this, you're understanding who I'm talking about, and your heart, it hurts a little bit. And I can imagine, because I also see we have the hourglass. Okay, and above their head we have kind of, you can see the little X there. Okay, and so I believe that this person maybe transitioned. Okay, and I feel like this was devastating for you. I feel like you were probably fairly young when this happened. At least maybe at the latest in your teens, I would imagine. But they've never left you. They've always been with you. And I can see that you very much are a part of them and they are part of you. You can see there's a little child here, okay, holding something, maybe a long flower. Okay, it looks like maybe first I thought, what are those called? Not a lily, no. I was thinking of like a morning glory, something kind of more delicate like that. Something, or like a, what are those big ones? They're like moonflowers, I think. Something though, a beautiful flower. And I can see that you were part of this larger formation. Now I can also see you up here, and this is with that angel, and you can see it's kind of like an angel fairy godmother. It looks like blessing your head, a blessing on your head, right? And so I feel like this is and it's so funny because really in life it's amazing how even relationships that are not active for relatively, in the grand scheme of our lives, they're not very long. Maybe a grandparent you have for 7, 8, 9 years, but those years are, some of your most potent years. And having that relationship, that person in your life, it changes you to the core. You could have been somebody completely different if you didn't know that kind of love. If you hadn't been made to feel as special as you are. It might have taken many, many years to figure that out for yourself. But you had a little opening. You saw what it was to really treat somebody well, to be cared for. To be, and like I said, to be valued, protected, spoken up for, to be guided and given, good advice and encouragement. That's a very special thing. That is a blessing. One of the greatest blessings, I believe. Now, I want to turn this, and we see we have, it looks like a rain cloud, right? And it has thunder coming down. And we have this moment where there's loss, okay? It feels terrible. It feels, like something you just can't imagine, when you're young, when you're young, it's so all-consuming. It's terrible when you're older, of course. But like both of my parents died when I was young. When I was, not a preteen. And it felt like the entire world broke open. Like, not in a good way. I mean, later it became, I used that energy to do sacred work. There was a fracture there that allowed me to walk through, right, into these other places that maybe I wouldn't have been able to. I don't know. But, Pudgy, come on, you got to get away from the camera, my love. But when you're young, I mean, it feels like, and this is what I always explain it as. It feels like a tsunami. It does. It feels like it rushes in. It takes everything. It just uproots it. And then it leaves. It goes out. It takes everything out to sea. And whatever is left that's scattered around, you try to pick some of that stuff up. You think, I don't even know what to do. The landscape looks different. Everything I knew is gone in a flash. And even the things that are left don't look the same anymore. And so what do we do with that? Especially when you're a kid, it's difficult. But we're resilient, right? We're resilient. And we're so close to the divine when we're young that even when there are, and I see a kid, a child, a young person here running, and there's the thunder. But over here, I see there is an umbrella. Okay. And I feel like through this situation that happened when you were young, it taught you to be a loving person, but it also taught you from early on that nothing is forever. It might be that that consciousness goes on and on and on, that we are connected, our stories are woven together, we are always in some way right next to each other. We take people into ourselves when they transition. We carry them with us. We remember them. And so they live. But we also know that nothing stays the same. And so I feel like you have, in a lot of ways, learned to manage through uncomfortable places, for better or worse, right? Ideally, we think we want nobody to suffer that way. Absolutely. I want people to just have a good life. I don't want people to hurt. You know, I look at my daughter, I don't want her to go through the things I went through. I don't. You know, at the same time, I want her to be a strong person, and I want her to, you know, have a strong relationship with the divine. I don't want to underestimate her capabilities. I don't want to always coddle her to the point where, you know, I don't allow her to live her own story. But it's hard. Isn't it hard? It's hard. It's hard. You just, you know, you want the best of everything for them. So, you know, I think you have, and I'm seeing this interesting character here. It reminds me of a Leonora, what's her name? Carrington painting with the kind of long wispy horns or whatever, a little robe, and then we have another person over here, maybe a Taurus person, and they are standing on and next to this crescent moon. And I feel like, you know, this early loss really actually in some ways made you quite creative. I think that you're probably really, really good with words, imagery. I think that you probably write, or you could write. I imagine that you are quite charming and funny. And you talk to people in a way that really, they feel like you just know them, right? Like you just relate to people so easily. You make them feel comfortable. You're inviting, okay? But you also, I think, have boundaries. You know, a Pisces person, I think, is somebody not unlike a Cancer person, where you like to have time for yourself. You know, you need a lot of time to be unwitnessed so that you can kind of indulge your interests, your creativities and dreams and visions and all of these things. But you're also so very good at relating to people. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if you were a person that's had, you know, quite a few people in love with you, you know? Oh, interesting. We have a face here. You can see the eye. Okay, maybe a little bit of the devil energy. You can see side profile, eye, horns, the nose, mouth. Okay, and then up here, it looks like maybe next to a flower. We have a beautiful flower growing right here. It kind of almost looks like a shoe as well. You can see kind of the shoe right here. Also, I have a little person standing right here, maybe wearing a dress. And then we have, it looks like a heart with some swords in it. So kind of the Lady of Sorrows vibe. But that says to me that in some ways you are also quite melancholy at times. You definitely get into those Saturnine places. I think that you can become quite closed off when you're feeling this way. I think that probably you're a person where, like, when you're not feeling good emotionally or even physically, you just want to be left alone. You don't want to be mean about it. You don't want to, argue about it or anything like that. But you would prefer if you were just left to be, so that you can kind of manage through these feelings. I also feel like looking at this, there's a sense of really being drawn to water. I could imagine that you like to take walks near the waters, and I'm almost wondering if you like the cold waters better. I'm almost thinking like some kind of seaside in Maine or something, very cold and quite unforgiving. And with that devil energy as well, I feel like it's not super active, but it's there, it's lingering. And the devil energy in my mind really is that transformer. It's really the place where we push past boundaries or limitations, or the constructs that we try to live within. And when that devil energy comes up, it kind of just tears that stuff down so that we can explore more deeply. And with that flower, I feel, in this one, to me, I'm imagining, I live here on the prairie, some beautiful and hardy and sturdy native flower to the prairies. And they are, if you've ever seen any kind of thistle or, a prairie rose or any of these kinds of things, they'll grow in if it's the drought, if it's raining a ton, if it's if the weather's going up and down in temperatures, they are very hardy, right? And they come back in full force. So, I feel like you're a very fortified person. And so in all of this, I look at this and I think we have this tower moment, but it seems like such an old thing. Okay. And that doesn't negate how much it hurt. But it really has made you who you are. Not only that, I think that this person, this grandparent, and I really feel like it's a grandparent. It could be somebody else, but they are so much with you. You are so much like them, and I think every day as you get a little older and older, you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, "Oh my gosh, I look just like them." I do. I see them in my own being. And I feel like that's an honor. That is an honor for you. Now, we also have a 2. Okay. And that is a sacred number there. That is right there in that metaphysical, spiritual zone. We also have an 8. Okay. So we have a 2 and an 8. And I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take a look over here. Okay. And I'm imagining somebody standing, you probably, and just watching the kites. Watching things. Kites, I think. But also, I feel like there are these kind of deep sea creatures. And I think that these are things that are emerging in your psyche. But I think that really where you're gaining access to this is daydreaming, okay, or active imagination. just allowing yourself to come into a place that is kind of, if you could imagine just being in a relaxed state, you know, sitting in a chair, your favorite like comfy chair in the house, maybe like a little lazy boy or whatever, and kind of letting your eyes go soft, right? They don't have to be closed, but they can be. Letting them go soft and just letting images come through your mind, letting them flicker through. Symbols, images, you know, full scenarios, and not really trying to make any judgment about it, but thinking about, you know, how you feel when you're standing in a field or next to the ocean and people are flying kites and you're just standing there watching them, watching the wind kind of blow them around and take them out further and further. And they're going higher and higher, getting smaller, and then coming in closer, getting bigger, and you can see all of the little details. But you're not judging this, are you? You're just witnessing. And so, you know, I feel like this is kind of what we're doing with this vision work. And I think within that, you know, this is where those things from the psyche are really emerging. So I think allow yourself to daydream a bit. You know, as a homework assignment, I assign you some time sitting in your chair, almost napping, and having some daydreams. That's the kind of homework I want. I'll go back to school for that. Okay, let's see. We have the Happier Me affirmation cards. I'm going to flip right through here. We're going to stop right here. It says, my inner self always knows what to do. My inner self always knows what to do. Whenever you have to make a decision, pay attention to what you feel in that moment. Is it your discomfort, anxiety coming out of fear? Or do you feel as if, do you feel as if someone is somehow justified? Or do you feel as if it's somehow justified? Yeah. I hate reading out loud. Yeah, so is it justified? Is there something beneath this discomfort? Is there something just beyond regular old anxiety? Regular old existential dread? Is it cosmic terror? Probably not. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. All right. Pisces, I want to say thank you. I'm going to take a sip here. Oh my goodness. Oh, my throat is getting dry. I got over my sickness and still kind of running ragged. We're like in our full regular routine. And now I'm feeling better, but now it's gotten so cold. And I've been missing the cold. I'm not complaining because I absolutely love winter. I love deep winter. It is like being in a whole other planet. It just feels so different. But the air is so dry. So anyways, I'm going to go steam myself pretty soon here. And Pisces, enough about me. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. What else? If you have not subscribed, think about doing that. It is free. You can just hit the little bell when you do. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out so you don't miss them. Also, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I love reading them. Having a day off sucks because I don't have as many comments to read, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the next videos come out so I can read about how people are doing. So anyways, I look forward to that tomorrow. That's going to be my happy place. So, Pisces, 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 I love you. I adore you. I thank you. We will talk in a few days. And, oh my goodness, I hope, if you're, it seems like weather is just wild everywhere. So, hopefully you all are safe and warm and comfortable or cool if you're in the southern hemisphere. And, I'm praying collectively for all of us and yeah, thank you. All right. I love you. Goodbye.